Welcome to Between Over and Next with your hosts, Holli and Robert, a happily married couple who explore the space between what was, what is, and what's to come. From career changes to navigating life's uncertainties, this dynamic duo will empower you to live your happiest life at every age and stage. So, get ready because your journey with Holli and Robert starts now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Between Over and Next. Hi, G-Ma.
Hi, G-Pa.
So I guess we could say that this is a very special episode 41 of Between Over and Next. But this is the episode where we get to announce that we are grandparents. How do you like that?
I like it a lot, and I have so many feelings and emotions that are swirling around my head and in my heart. So, Robert, I would say that this is probably one of the biggest Between Over and Next moments that I have ever experienced.
Well, we've had a few Between Over and Next moments, pivotal moments that change you forever, right? That once you make that particular pivot, your life is different going forward.
They are life cycle moments. And this is our personal lives. And quite frankly, this has really impacted our professional lives. Because we talk about on Between Over and Next about the twists and turns and the ups and downs and the curveballs and the pivots and the transitions and the shifts in every aspect of life.
Yes. And so for those of you who are tuning in and listening and watching, as of this moment of recording, our grandson, Holden Ray, is like 2 days old. Like, right?
2.5.
2.5 days old.
Lindsay's due date was October 24th. Thursday, we went to the hospital, and the baby came the following day, on Friday, October 18th, 2024, at 2:27 a.m. And
16 pounds, 9 ounces. Oh, no, that's the turkey for Thanksgiving.
5 pounds, 9 ounces. And I can't remember how long.
19 inches. I think, something like that.
There was a lot of guessing about what the sex would be because Lindsay and Elliot, our daughter and son-in-law, did not want to find out the gender of the baby.
Well, we didn't either.
We did not either.
Right, even though you cheated for Alex.
I only cheated with Alex.
I didn't know the sex of either of our kids until the birth.
There are very few moments in life that are a true surprise. And most of the parents today choose to find out the sex of the child for many reasons. They want to know, and you can know. You can find out.
Well, gender reveals are a thing now.
Very popular.
If it weren't for the internet, right? If it wasn't for YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, where people are posting, some far more creative than others in terms of what they do.
There were very few moments that are the truest surprise, but everybody's guessing all along the way. And I thought it was going to be a girl.
Well, it's a 50-50 bet.
So it's really cool that Lindsay and Elliot didn't know, but we were all kind of surprised. I know we shouldn't have been. I went to a lot of appointments with Lindsay for her checkups. And every single time we went, the first thing she would say is, we are not finding out. We are not finding out.
So that you mean that the technician or whatever would not make a mistake.
It's in her records, but do not tell.
Right.
You are absolutely right. We did not know for Lindsay, and we loved that moment. It's a girl. We have such a special relationship with our children, both our daughter and our son. Watching our daughter, who has always wanted to be a mother, become a mother is an extraordinary Between Over Next moment. So from us to go from parenthood to grandparenthood is so cool. a new grandmother friend of mine. I'm going to quote her. She said, "Prepare to be amazed." And we talked about the anticipation of grandparenthood in episode 38.
Let's go back to what we were talking about. Like, what are the pivotal moments? I think a lot of the pivotal moments are types of things that, unless you live it, you can't really adequately describe it. Right? It's kind of like a roller coaster. Like, you could tell somebody what it's like to ride a roller coaster. But could you really adequately describe what it's like to, those seconds of weightlessness and, getting thrown around and all that? It's
and
something
the thrill,
that...
and the thrill, and
right,
the fear.
and your heart racing. It's the kind of thing that you've got to live. So there are pivotal moments where your life changes forever. Like, I'm going to add marrying the one you love as a pivotal moment. You'll forever be changed when you marry someone. Okay?
And when two families come together.
Sure. Well, that's all part of that equation. Let's talk about really obvious, super obvious. When you have a child, when you become a parent, that's a huge pivotal moment that changes your life forever.
And watching these
as well
2 days
should.
of Lindsay and Elliot, there is so much love
and
emotion.
And you can imagine what it's like. Become a mother or a father, right? You can imagine it, but you really don't know what it's like until you become one.
And you actually have this little human person.
It's like getting a puppy, right? You don't know what it's like.
A little different.
Until you get a puppy. No. So for us, since that huge pivotal moment of becoming parents, now to become grandparents, it is a unique experience in that it's like been there, done that, as been described to us by so many, is that now we get the best of it, right? We get to choose when and when not, which may sound strange to some, not to say that we're not going to always be there for our children.
It's not our full-time
But it's not our full-time jobs. We can enjoy the good stuff. When I was in the wedding world, most of my flexible time existed Monday to Friday. My committed time, right, zero flexibility, was on the weekends because I was committed to the client at that point for their events, which generally fell on the weekends. So I was fortunate from very early on to have that flexibility of time,
with
Monday to Friday.
To being with
and
the
certainly
kids.
not every weekend wasn't taken up, but we always enjoyed that ability to be part of our children's lives.
I feel that there is so much more love we have that is going to be showered on our children and our newest addition to our family. As a parent, all you hope for is you want them to be healthy and to feel good mentally, emotionally, physically.
Can I say my thing?
Yes.
My new discovery? I might have mentioned this.
You did already.
Before.
You did.
The human body is the very first 3D printer.
I think that you are brilliant.
I hope everyone out there that's listening to this is going, oh my God, he's right.
Robert and I got married in March of 1992. That was 32 and a half years ago.
Previous century.
Right. And then we moved into our first house, which is a big, important milestone.
Yes, a life-changing
Right.
moment, a pivot,
We
certainly.
moved from Bayonne, living together,
paying rent to paying a
being
mortgage.
homeowners. We moved to Livingston, New Jersey, in our beautiful home on 6 Melrose Drive in March of 1993. We then fooled around a lot, and we made a baby. And we had Lindsay in April of 1994. She is now 30 years old. It is now 2024. I was 31 when I gave birth to Lindsay. I had a registry, and I did that in the retail stores. And I had a baby nurse for about a week after I had the baby. And then life as usual. I love being a mother. I still love being a mother. I
Well,
love
you adapt.
I love co-parenting with you.
I remember,
It
though.
was very natural for
Yeah,
me.
yeah. That's what I was going to say. He wasn't like, oh my God, how am I going to do this?
It came very naturally.
Yeah, we said this the other night. We were out 2 weekends ago. We were at OzPack listening to music outdoors. And it was 8:30, 8:45 at night on a Saturday night when Lindsay's there hanging with Elliot. And I'm thinking, like, for them, for these next few years, certainly going to come to an end, this type of setup where they can freely go. When I wasn't really thinking about that with us, like that suddenly we weren't going to be able to do stuff, and certainly not do stuff at 9 o'clock at night. And it wasn't for a number of years that we started utilizing babysitters.
When we were pregnant, our parents were not necessarily with us saying, as maybe we're going out for a dinner a week before I had a baby, that your life is going to change. And we go into restaurants last week, right before Holden was born, and you're like, there's a baby. No,
Yeah.
do they have a high chair?
Right.
And
we did it.
Okay,
we did it right from the start.
From the start,
you know?
that baby was in the car seat carrier.
Yeah.
And the baby was always with us.
And we carried it wrong.
This is what Lindsay says. It's 2024, Mom. And I'm like, as much as things change, they don't change. And there are certain basics that just don't change. And that's important to recognize.
We
And
did
parents
not
need to say that.
have YouTube University. Like
Second, or
they
TikTok.
have.
Wait, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Google. Google is phenomenal. At your fingertips is the answer. We're going to respect and honor our children's wishes. They are the parents. It is their child. When Lindsay was off this summer, she created her baby registry. My baby registries was at Precious Cargo and Denny's. They were in physical retail stores. Those stores still exist, but everything is available online. Etsy, Target, Amazon, and it could be at your house the same day or the next day. It's nuts. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And by the way, I am guilty. I'm guilty. I have bought so much already. Big shout out to Dr. Doreen DeGraff. We love her. She delivered both Lindsay and Alex. It is Lindsay's OBGYN also. So talk about legacy and continuing to be part of our family story, right? She's Lindsay's doctor, but she was not on call this weekend. So, Dr. Hayes, thank you for bringing Holden into the world. Lindsay gave birth in the same floor, in the same hospital where I had Lindsay. Robert was with me when I had Lindsay and Alex. And anyone else who was waiting, like the grandparents, or Lindsay even was with the grandparents when Alex was born, waited in the waiting area. And then the baby would normally go into the nursery, and you'd look through the glass and you would see the baby. They don't do that anymore. The baby is with mommy and daddy.
What you knew as the nursery area is still structurally there in the adjacent hallway where you would get off on the floor, but they've got these shades drawn, which I'm sure were there when the babies were there. They used to draw the shades so the babies would get some rest and whatever.
But everyone went ooh and ah. But this is just cool. So Lindsay was born in St. Barnabas Medical Center, now called Barnabas Health.
Cooperman.
Big donors
Barnabas
and philanthropists in our area. And it's a beautiful hospital. They are known for labor and delivery and maternity. A big thank you to the nurses and the doctors and everybody at that hospital for bringing our grandson into the world. And he is so cute. I mean, it is so crazy because we have friends and family. So our sister, Mindy, became a grandmother this year. We love our great nephew, Asher. Shout out to Erica, new mom. Our friend Martha became a grandma. And Judy is a grandmother.
We have friends who are expecting grandchildren later this year and earlier next year. Of course, we're in the throes of that. So we're super sensitive to certain stages of life, you're going through different things. What's happening most of the time are weddings and births, right? So friends whose children are getting married, and then friends who are becoming grandparents.
And we have to big shout out to all our parents, Robert and my parents.
Elliot.
And Elliot's grandparents. So there were 6 grandparents that just became great-grandparents. And that is such a blessing. My mother and father became grandparents. Your parents also were 10 years younger than us.
Right. We're becoming grandparents at 62.
And they were around 52.
Right. So they were full 10 years.
About.
So, but
do
wait
I
a second.
look like a grandmother?
Well,
what
you
does
are
that
the.
mean?
Listen, I know we have a family-friendly podcast, but I'm going to say,
Please.
For me, it's big. I never thought about this, but you are officially the first grandmother that I've ever slept with. I mean, since I slept with my grandmother as a child, but you know what I mean. You're the first.
I have to tell you, it is a deeper love that we now have for each other, which is really cool.
I'm sure there's some people that go through their existence where like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to become a grandparent. This is like something really nice, but like how much time have you spent like thinking about becoming a grandparent?
I love what you said at dinner last night. You were reminiscing about your grandpa and grandma and the realization that you are now a grandfather.
I'm that.
And we got to tell you about our names because I read lots and lots of articles about choosing what do you want to be called. Traditionally, I have no problem being called grandma and grandpa. I think it's cozy. It's nice. But I kind of wanted something a little.
Were those your
yeah, all of them.
names, grandma and grandpa?
All of them were grandma and grandpa.
Both of my grandmothers were Nanny.
Oh, really?
Nanny Esther and Nanny Dinah.
So that's why your mother's Nanny?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And both of my grandfathers were grandpa.
My father's parents are Grandma Ray and Grandpa Aby, and my mother's mother was Grandma Irene. Names are really important. I love my name. I love Robert's name too. And this is really cool because our legacy brand is hollyandrobert.com, and I love it. And for those of you that don't realize it, I'm just going to let you know that it's Holly with an I. So it says it right on the screen behind us and on our branded apparel.
Right.
I was named after my mother's father, Hyman, and my grandpa Max on my father's side. And you were named after?
That's a good question. I have no idea who I'm named
Come on.
after.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we must get on that.
Yeah, I don't. That's a good question.
Oh, I can't believe you don't know that.
I don't know. We have to ask my parents.
Lindsay and Elliot named their baby Holden Ray. Crazy as it may seem, if you look at our initials here, we're kind of wearing him on our hearts. HR, Holden Ray. Holden is after Elliot's grandpa Harry, who passed away a couple of years ago. Ray is after my grandma Ray. So it's Holden Ray Sussman. And I think it's a strong name. I think it's a great name. And he is so cute. His hair is so soft. His face is so small. He has Lindsay's nose and lips.
For those of you who haven't had a pregnant person in your life recently, so let's say the last 5 years, the images of the fetus have improved significantly from when we had children. Man, oh man, the detail.
We saw the baby. We saw Holden's nose. We saw his nose.
You see features. You see contours. You know, granted, it's not perfect by any means, and the position of the baby is important to seeing, but the detail is just absolutely incredible, and it's just absolutely extraordinary. And I've said this time and time again that I am so thankful for smart people that can figure this stuff out and read these reports and see things on the inside. And it's amazing because we had heard a statistic of very high infant mortality before obstetrics
50%.
became a thing.
50% of babies or mothers died.
In childbirth.
In childbirth.
Yes.
Before obstetrics.
Yeah.
A reference, Lindsay has a registry. it was fascinating watching her selections. She wants everything to be 100% cotton, especially touching the baby's skin. She wants everything to be natural. She also knew she wanted a doula to advocate for her, to guide her, to create a space and place for her to bring her baby into the world the way she wanted. Big thank you to Emma for being not only Lindsay's side, by my side and Elliot's as well, because all four of us were all cozied up in the room together, sharing this experience.
And I was struggling to stay awake in my recliner here at home.
It was a lot of hours. Emma, it was so nice because she had this peppermint essential oils, and that was delightful. For me too, really. And we had music in the room.
Did I tell you about the doulas that I had come over that night to tend to me?
Did they take care of you?
They
honey?
did. They did.
Good. Oh,
it was nice.
I'm so happy. So I also have to say an incredible, big thank you. First and foremost, to our family.
Oh, I thought you were going to say me.
I love you to pieces. I think we're going to have the best ride ever. Best roller coaster ride ever, because without a doubt, there are going to be those ups and downs and ins and outs.
Are we going to have
and twists and turns?
Are we going to have Holden on the podcast?
Absolutely, he's going to be on the podcast.
All right.
Listen, today you go to Facebook, you go to a group, you ask, you search for what you're looking for, and there it is. You have a lot of information that is so accessible and readily available, based on other people's recommendations. And that is a really cool thing. I used to just ask, who'd you use? Who do you recommend?
And
From
also,
other moms.
You only had resources based on who your circle of people were. So what did you have? 8, 9 people you would have to bounce off. Now with social media, you're asking potentially millions of people your question.
And it's great.
And getting responses.
It's so great. So is Facebook Marketplace. There are so many wonderful things that people can get things that are either new and wasn't used or gently used. And it's wonderful. And also support groups. There is so much power to social media when it's used with purpose. But my thank yous. Thank you to you first and foremost.
You're welcome.
I love that if I ask him to go find something, buy something, he's on it.
I'm a good buyer of things.
You are, but you're going to be an amazing grandfather.
I know.
So I look forward to this experience with you. Our family is just awesome. Congratulations to the other grandparents, Sue and David, Elliot's parents. And my parents, Helene and Ned Williams, and my in-laws, Linda and Larry Ehrlich, they are just so special to us, and they love our children so much, and they love all the grandchildren so much because, like I said, Erica had a baby earlier this year, and he's the cutest 7-month-old ever, and we are so excited for these boys to be together and take so many photos, and that's another thing, like document. But these grandparents, and Ellie's grandparents too, Bernice and Sam, it is so much joy to watch them experience this as well. Mindy and Jeff, we love you. And all of the cousins, Erica and David, Carly and Andrew and Jake. Our family, it is small but mighty. We are close. We care about each other. And we're there for each other. And this is a really special moment in our lives, and they are celebrating it with us. Thank you to all of our friends. So many people come into your life over the years and the decades. And no matter what, through the wedding world, to the cannabis world, to the podcast world, to the pickleball world, and my mahjong friends, and my new community, and all my friends that I've known through the years from Livingston, and all my childhood friends since 6th grade, Martine and Marcy and Stacy. I and you are so, so blessed to have so many beautiful people. And it is just love. There is so, so much love surrounding this experience. And having a first grandchild, it is magical.
I'm looking forward to being a part of this child's life and development. And we are fortunate in the fact that our work schedule is still one which we are most of the time in control of, so that we'll be able to to devote time, quality time, to helping our kids, Lindsay and Elliot,
With whatever you need.
we
can't
with
wait.
whatever.
Oh my God, I left out someone.
Time.
How did you let me leave one of the most important people in our lives that I just left out thanking?
Go ahead.
I love you. I love you. I love you, Alex. You have become an uncle. You have been amazing.
He's going to be the funkle.
Amazing. He will do anything and everything. He has been taking care of Lindsay and Elliot's cat, Marshmallow. He is with them for whatever they need. He is so proud. And we look forward to Leah and the whole Cantor clan meeting Holden very soon, because Leah has become a real important part of our lives because Alex loves her so much and we love her.
Can we congratulate Alex now on his scuba certification? He's passed his first level of scuba certification. So
Bravo,
he can
Alex.
scuba dive with his woman and her family.
Yeah, they're going to have fun.
Because they're all certified scuba divers. So
They are. And maybe Holden will want to get certified
Maybe,
one day.
maybe.
You know what? There is so much of what's next and what's ahead. We don't know what it's going to bring. All we know is we're going to really focus on the now and enjoy watching him grow and learn and become the boy and man he's meant to be. And we're so proud that he's ours. So we thank you. Thank you for letting us indulge in this special episode today, because honestly, all week long, knowing this baby was coming, we just had to
take a pause to talk about our grandson.
Yeah, and we're going to encourage you to do the same. What matters most to you? And that is something how we're going to continue to show up and share what matters. And family is everything.
Right. So thank you, everyone, for listening to the new grandparent episode of Between Over and Next. If you haven't picked up on it yet, we're very excited about this new role.
Thank you to everybody who has been embracing all of the joy surrounding this very special time in our lives.
Yep. And you will undoubtedly be hearing more about our grandson as these episodes unfold. So thank you, everyone, for listening to Between Over and Next. And thank you to you, G-Ma, my partner, the first grandmother I ever slept with.
I love you, G-Pa.
And thank you all for being a listener or a viewer of Between Over and Next. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in to Between Over and Next. We hope you enjoyed this episode and found it meaningful and insightful.
If you value it to be worthwhile, please share it with your friends and family.
We would really appreciate it if you could take a moment to write a review for us. Your feedback will help us continue to create content that resonates with you.
And don't forget, in the show notes, you can find all the relevant links mentioned in this episode, from accessing free downloads to visiting our website and more.
If you have any questions or comments, we would love to hear from you. Simply send us an email. Our email address is hello@hollyandrobert.com. We're always excited to connect with our listeners.
So until next time, thank you again for joining us on Between Over and Next.
Thank you for listening to Between Over and Next, the podcast that navigates the twists and turns of life with courage, laughter, and a whole lot of inspiration. Tune in every Tuesday to hang out with Holli and Robert on your favorite podcast platform. Visit hollyandrobert.com and follow them on social media to ignite your passion and fuel your dreams.